Hello, it's the Friday Talkie. I'm doing a bit of an experiment on this video. I'm recording sound externally and separate from the camera on this. And I've got a little microphone there. I don't know how it's going to sound, so we shall have to wait and see. The benefit being I can sit further back. If it works, if it doesn't work, this is going to sound bloody awful. Anyway, what have I got to talk about today? A few things, quite a few, actually bloody loads of stuff. I got an email from Sony, and I suspect loads of other people did, because I also got messages from Dino the Legend and Atsuma Korean, thank you, telling me Gran Turismo 6 is coming out this year, and a demo will be out in July. All I've got to say about this is, yay! I mean, I can't tell you anything because I don't know anything except it's coming out. But if you know me, you'll know I'm a big Gran Turismo fan. I've been into it since the very first version on the PS1, and I love it. I don't care if people think Forza is better. I don't have an Xbox 360, so I can't say whether that's true or not. I just don't care. I love Gran Turismo. I love all the things that are good about it. I actually like some of the things that people complain about it. I like that they're very rigid in sticking to the main concept. Virtually no damage, even when there is damage. I'm not too sure about the sterile nature of things. I like the completely crappy AI of the opponent cars. I've come to expect that. It's what I want. If it wasn't like that, if they changed it, I'd be pissed off, because then it wouldn't be Gran Turismo. Yeah, so I don't know what Gran Turismo 6 will have to offer the Gran Turismo 5 doesn't. I mean, there will be some more tracks, there will be some more cars. What else can they do? I don't know. I don't care. I'll buy it. That's all I've got to say about that. Now, a lot of people have talked about this next topic. Probably the best discussion isn't the right word. ReviewTechUSA spoke about it, and I pretty much agree with what he said. Nintendo putting ads on LPs, long plays, let's plays, whatever you want. Nintendo, they have put out a bulletin somewhere on their website, I guess, or somewhere, I don't know where. They've been partnered with YouTube, so they're putting up their own content. And unlike, say, Sega, who had channels shut down, who had put up videos containing one of their games, they are not going to do that. How generous of them, how kind and considerate. They're not going to shut people down, they're not even going to have videos taken down. But if they find, or YouTube systems find long plays with Nintendo games on them, Nintendo are going to put ads on them and claim the money from those. Right. I suppose how I feel about this comes down to, how are they going to define LPs or long plays or let's plays? They say game videos that go over a certain length of time showing their content will be targeted like this, and Nintendo will put the ads on them. How long will this time be? Are they specifying? I haven't heard anywhere if they specify how long it will be. And is there going to be some kind of creep going on here where that time will get shorter and shorter and shorter? I have some videos of Nintendo games up. I haven't been hit with any copyright notice or anything like that. So far I'm unaffected. Will that change later on? I don't know. Rich, ReviewTechUSA, his point of view is, LPs, they're showing the whole game. So maybe Nintendo have a little bit of a point. Maybe he's right, I don't know. I also saw a tweet last night, and I think it was from Dick Socrates. I have to try really hard not to say Dick Socrates. Did he tweet it or did he retweet it? I'm pretty sure it came from him. Anyway, something along the lines of, if you think a video of your game is going to harm the sales of your game, then your game has got a lot more to worry about than LPs. And I think that's true. If just watching a video is going to put you off playing a game, well, what's wrong with the game? You know, it's got to be pretty shit. There is a point there. I don't know. I suppose if the only reason you're playing a game is for the storyline, then watching an LP of it might damage your enjoyment if you were thinking about buying a game. But what kind of person, if they're thinking about buying a game, watches a video of the whole thing? No, I don't think Nintendo have a point. I don't think LPs are going to put people off buying their games. It's not going to harm their sales. They're just money grabbing, I think. It's a tricky one. I think if they start, if some kind of creep sets in there, and hell, if I get targeted, I mean with like 5 or 10 minute long videos, that would be pure money grabbing. But it's tricky. I mean, if there's a video with nothing but gameplay footage and no commentary, well, by rights, a person shouldn't be able to put ads on that anyway. I don't know if that's still true, but a software developer would basically be able to say, look, you're just making money off my work, that ain't on. But I think if there's a commentary, if something new has been made out of that, you know, there's something added to it, quality, entertainment, opinion, educational value, whatever, then the person who made that video should be the one getting the money and not the game. I don't know, a deal should be done somewhere. You know, the developer maybe has some kind of a claim, but a balance needs to be struck on something like that, I think. It bothers me because if other game developers, publishers or whatever see Nintendo doing this, they're liable to think, oh well, if they're going to do it, we're going to do it too. And all of a sudden people like you and me and whoever are going to be either stopping making videos. There will be people who, if all of the game developers did that, well, I mean, this isn't a business, but I'd be out of business, so to speak. I make some income doing this, all of that would go out the window. And that would be crap, and a lot of people would stop, and then that's like free advertising for all these developers would go out the window, because that's what it is. It is advertising, and this is the thing. Companies producing a product pay for advertising. They'll pay an advertising agency. YouTubers do this, and some, like me, and many others, make a little bit of money out of it. And the number of people who have said to me after watching one of my videos, yeah, I went and bought that game. I thought it was great, so I bought it. That happens countless times. It's retro games, so I mean the developers aren't making anything, but people doing videos of new games. It's advertising. And the company making the product isn't the person paying for the advertising. So for them to say, no, we're going to have that, it's like Nintendo make a game, and then an advertising company makes the advert, and then Nintendo wants what that advertising company gets paid for making it. That's stupid. That doesn't work. No. So, stop it. I hope that just goes away. It needs to. It doesn't seem very well thought out to me. Anyway, moving on. MaximumRD. This is going to be a quick one. Ask the question, are there any peripheral manufacturers who you think are just really crap? Link down there to his video. And I had a bit of a think about this. Now, I mean, I've got peripherals for all kinds of different computers and consoles and stuff. Mostly I don't pay any attention to who they are. But there is one manufacturer from back in the day that does come to mind. And I'll show you the example that I think of, but I've got other stuff by them. Cheetah. Oh dear. This is a Cheetah Annihilator. It comes with the Commodore 64 games console. It is a piece of, oh God. It's a piece of shit. And I have heard numerous people talk about Cheetah joysticks who say exactly the same thing. Oh God. That's really worn in there. Can you see that? It's not had a lot there. It's not had a lot of use. And the plastic's just rubbing on plastic and wearing it out. Yeah, that is probably the worst joystick I have ever had the misfortune of using, other than the Dragon 32 analog sticks, which I loathe. But they at least have, well, the build quality on them is largely okay. They're just not a very nice design, but that's just a piece of shit that would be okay if it was built properly. So yes, Cheetah, appalling. They're kind of like Quick Shot made joysticks, and they did them reasonably well, and Cheetah looked at the designs and thought, we can copy that and we'll do it more cheaply, and they used really cheap materials and just made a total dog's dinner of it. Bloody awful. cojonesdeloro asks the question, how do you make time to play video games? And that's a very good question, because as kids, if you're not in school and you're not asleep and you're not eating your dinner or getting screamed at by your parents for being a little twat, you could pretty much do whatever you wanted. And if that meant playing video games, you could play video games all day. As an adult, you can't do that. I know I sure as hell can't do that. I have a lot of stuff to do. I am a busy person, and I have a life, and I have a wife, and I have a lot of ways that I have to occupy my time and like to occupy my time. And playing video games, the amount of time I get to do it is reducing, which is sometimes actually really quite, it makes me quite sad. I would like to be able to spend more time playing games. Each day I probably take 10 to 20 minutes to play a retro game so I can do a video. And that's about it on most days. Sometimes I do them in batches. These Spectrum games I've been playing, I have done them in batches. So I spent a whole day playing Spectrum games earlier this week, and I've been, I've got enough to last me through till the end of next week. But generally 10 or 20 minutes a day. And as for modern games, because if I'm playing games for fun and not to make videos of, I will play modern games, and that means PS3 pretty much. And I can't actually remember the last time I played. I find I'm busy doing internet-y type stuff in the daytime when Andrea's at work, some of which makes me a living, some of which I'm trying to find other ways to make a living. And then when Andrea gets home, I go downstairs and I spend time with her. Now sometimes she'll have a nap, because she, like me, I stay up quite late, and she will stay up late and then go to bed and not get enough sleep, so when she comes home from work she'll nap on the sofa. And sometimes when she does that, I will either come up here and play a game or play one on the big telly downstairs in the living room. But that's about it. I don't get much time for gaming anymore. Life is busy and full of stuff, and you gotta prioritize, and there are just so many things that are more important. So yeah, I can't remember the last time I played a modern game. I'm looking at my PS3 games and trying to figure, what was it I played last? It probably was Battlefield 3, because I only seem to play 2 games these days. It's Battlefield 3 or Gran Turismo, and that's about it. Probably because, time being limited, I don't have the time to follow a storyline or grasp complex concepts within a game, strategies and stuff like that. None of that. Which is why I go for the pick up and play thing these days. Android games, I mean, some of you will know I've got my Playing Android Badly channel, and that's because time is limited. I really only have time to pick up and play stuff. Casual gaming? Not so much. Silly simulators mostly, but not, I mean, that could be called casual gaming as well, but none of your Angry Birds type stuff. And farming do for what is that, Farmville, not, you know, you'll never catch me playing stuff like that. But yeah, big proper AAA titles, how do I make time to play them? I don't. I haven't found a way. It's like if I can grab an hour, I'm doing well. I can't, I used to, there's the thing, when I moved in with Andrea, her 3 kids, I say kids, they were adults even then, were still living here. So I could come upstairs and hide. I don't do well in family situations where there are lots of people talking and blah blah blah, and I'm like and I come upstairs and hide. And I could play video games, but they have all properly grown up now and moved out. And I'm not going to leave Andrea downstairs on her own while I play video games, so I have less time to play. You know, I get to spend time with her and not have to compete with this roaring rabble of people. Yeah, so that's how I make time. I don't. I struggle to fit it in, and if I get an hour, I'm doing well. Okay. Lawn Boys Post 1975 asks, link down there to his video, is YouTube a real hobby? Is there a stigma attached to it? Watch his video to know exactly where he's coming from with that, but basically he spoke to someone who thought YouTube wasn't a real hobby and it was stupid and you shouldn't do it, you should get a real hobby. Bollocks! That's what I have to say to that person. How can YouTube not be a hobby? You do it in your spare time for fun. Some people do it for a living, some people like myself do it for fun but also make a little bit of money off of it as well. Is it a hobby? Absolutely. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't fun, and it ain't work. It really isn't. Stigma? Well, I think if you're associating with people who look at what you do for fun and say that's crap, you shouldn't do it, you're associating with the wrong kind of people, because they should just see that you're doing something you enjoy and hey, that's cool. It's not hurting anyone else. What's the problem? I don't get that. I worked in a place once, quite a long time ago, where the only topic of conversation was football. That was it. If you weren't talking about football, they didn't want to know. And I didn't fit in there because I thought, well, I don't like football. Well, it's not that I don't like it, I'm not interested in it. And my view of these people was, you're a bunch of fucking idiots. Because if all they could think to talk about was football, what the hell was it like inside their head? So I imagine those are the kind of people who would, if they knew that I did YouTube videos. I didn't do them at that time because it was way before YouTube, but they were probably the kind of people who would have said, what the bloody hell do you do that for? Get a proper hobby. Yeah, nah, morons. Sorry, but there it is. Not the kind of people I would count as friends. So I don't care. People like that, doesn't matter. Absolutely, their opinion, irrelevant, don't give a crap. A stigma among real thinking people, no, there really shouldn't be. In the world that I live in, whatever that might be, is it a real world? I don't know, it's a little bubble, kind of. I don't ever get any stick for doing this, but I suppose what there is a complete lack of interest. Family and friends don't really give a crap. For 99% of the time they don't watch my videos. If I've mentioned, I could mention my family in this video, they won't know. I could mention them by name and they wouldn't know. They're not going to watch. There is one member of my family, one of my stepdaughters, watches my Isambard videos and likes them. And that's about as far as it goes. Andrea will occasionally play one of my videos at work to show the kids that she works with what her husband does. And some of them are into video games, and she'll show them, you know, what I do. But does she watch my videos for pleasure? No. I don't think so. I might be wrong, yeah, but no, generally not. But there's never any, what are you doing that for? That's a waste of time. Never. And if anyone ever did that or said that to me, I would go mental at them, because what I do in my spare time for fun is my business. And anyone saying or trying to dictate what is a legitimate way to spend your time, anyone who thinks they have the right, well, what an egotistical twat. What an ignorant, arrogant, shit for brains plonker. And I'd tell them where to go. Yeah. I think I was quite clear on that. Okay, last one. Last question. From RPKGameVids. He did a video, linked down there to his video. Do you have an end goal? With regards to collecting, retro gaming collecting, do you have an end goal? When is enough enough? Because as collectors, we can get carried away. And he has an end goal, and well, you watch his video to see what he's got to say on that subject. I will tell you how I feel about it. My end goal initially was I wanted to collect, and I'm a hardware collector. He is a games collector, and he collects with the intention of playing them. I am a little bit different. I'm a hardware collector, and I don't collect with the intention of playing them, though I like to play them. I've got systems here where I can't play them because I haven't got any software, or in some cases they're not quite working properly. But I collect because my end goal was to have every system I could remember as a kid, that I read about, heard about, knew about, couldn't afford, and then later as an adult found that I could. Currently I can't. Again, I just can't afford to buy all the systems that I'm aware of and would like. But currently, with my financial situation, my space situation, yeah, I have hit the end of the road in terms of buying hardware. I haven't bought a new console or computer in a long time. I can't remember the last one I bought, actually. Not a clue. Every now and then I do buy like a little plug and play thing. You know, a joystick or like a Famiclone or something. If I find one for like a £5 or a £10, I'll do something like that. And that's not even, I mean, that's not remembering it from back in the day. It doesn't even fit in with the original concept of what this collection was meant to be. It's just that it's dirt cheap and I want to play with it to see if it's any good or not. So that's kind of separate. But in terms of the collecting of proper old hardware, for the moment, I'm done. I still pick up games because I want to play them. Or Andrea will find someone selling a bundle of games on Hot UK Deals. They'll be selling a whole load of games cheap, and she'll say, do you want these? And I'll say, yeah, cool, thank you. And so I do get the odd new game, or I'll pick up something in chaff converters because there's a game I like the look of that's selling for 99p or something. But yeah, I guess that my objective of getting everything I remember as a kid is out the window at the moment. It's irrelevant. I can't afford it. I haven't got the space. So yeah, I suppose enough at the moment is enough. And you do have to kind of be flexible with these things. I've never ever looked at all of this and thought, God, I've got too much. I never get the urge to get rid of any of it at all. I don't necessarily, I mean, I'm looking at this massive load of games in front of me. I mean, there's a cabinet full and 2 bookshelves and a thing up there, and it's all full, just chock full, hundreds. I don't know how many games I've got, couldn't tell you. And I don't ever think I've got too many. They will one day all get played, even if it's only for 10 minutes to make a video. Is there a practical reason to keep them once I've made a video? I like having them. I don't think I need to have a better reason than that. I like having them. I like to sit here and look at them, and it makes me happy. So there's no urge to get rid. There's never a feeling of I've got too much. But I'm also happy not buying any more. I've got enough to keep me going for a long time. I think that covers it really. It's kind of a vague thing. Enough. Yeah. I suppose the thing is, I've never really reached a point where I've thought, that's it, I've got enough now, I want to stop. It's just purely a practicality thing. I haven't got the money, I haven't got the space, so I don't buy any more. And that could last the rest of my life. I hope not. I wouldn't want to be this skin for the rest of my life. But, you know, I might not ever have enough space. I can probably do some work on these shelves and fit a few more shelves in and get a few more bits at such a time as I have the money. But, you know, I could stay at this level with this amount of stuff for the rest of my life and I'd be perfectly happy. It would be fine. You never know what's going to happen. Yeah, I don't have a problem with stopping if that's what has to happen. Okay. I'm not doing a shout out this week. There is a channel I'm watching at the moment quite closely that I think is quite good. I'm just waiting a little while to see where they go and how they get on. So yeah, that one. No shout out this week. That's that. What's coming up? More Spectrum games. More of the same. Yay! I'm on a Sinclair thing at the moment. I initially had some difficulty because my 48K rubber keyboard Spectrum was becoming unreliable. I don't know why. I should try it with different power supplies and stuff. It might just be that it's on the way out. It just kept rebooting. So, and that was a shame because that one had a nice clean video signal when I run it through my VCR, which is what I've been doing. It was recommended to me and I didn't think it would work because I tried it a while ago, but I did it wrong a while ago, so I tried it recently and yay, it worked. But then the 48K one became unreliable, so I thought I'll give my +2 a go. I've got a SCART cable for that. What the plug is it? I don't know if it's RGB or whatever, but it's got a SCART lead. But that just plain doesn't work on modern tellies. And the guy who sold it, I've forgotten his name. The guy on eBay who almost everyone buys their cables and things from, said on the advert, this does not work with modern TVs. And I thought, well, I'll take a chance. My telly's good. It works with a lot of stuff. No, that didn't work. So it was going to have to be RF in through the aerial socket, and that wasn't working on my... No, it did work on my telly, but the signal was awful. I've got a Manic Miner video on here somewhere where I used that straight into the telly, and you can see just how terrible it is. So I tried doing that into the VCR, and it was better. It was still a fairly rough signal, but it was recordable. And then it conked out whilst recording, and I was like, oh crap. My other Spectrums are, one needs a new keyboard membrane, they're easy enough to get hold of, and the 128 toast rack, I'm not sure about that. I need to use that one a bit more because I think its signal drifts a bit, which is probably less of a problem with this VCR, so I've got to give that a go. Anyway, I got the soldering iron out on my +2 because I found out what the problem was. Basically there was a dry joint on the aerial input socket doofer inside the modulator bit. Anyway, I soldered it and it worked, and it's now got the best video signal it's ever had. So I'm doing more videos with that, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm also using a Kempston joystick interface because the joystick ports on that thing are stupid ones that don't work with Atari joysticks, and you need an adapter, and I haven't got an adapter, and blah blah blah. So anyway, yeah, long story short, long waffling, rambling, pointless, largely because I've said all of this in the Sinclair videos that I've been doing. Yes, more Sinclair videos. Spectrum games galore. It's kind of funny because I feel a lot of nostalgia for the Spectrum, because though I didn't have one as a kid, almost all of my friends did, and so I played a lot of Spectrum games, but only the really early ones. The first 3 years, from about 82 through to 85, and then all of the friends who had them. No, what did they? I moved away in 87. They all went off to university and stuff. I don't know. It was the first few years I got to play them. So actually, the games I feel nostalgia for are the really quite crappy ones. The earliest stuff before developers, and these were like bedroom coders mostly, you know, before they'd really found out how to get the best out of the system. So I actually really like the shoddy, crappy games, or at least I feel the nostalgia for them, where I never really liked the proper slick, or attempts to do slick, arcade games. I mean, yeah, developers with resources and know-how managed to push the hardware and make it do things it was never expected to be able to do, and they are technically impressive, but I never thought... I had completely lost interest in the Spectrum by that time. I was looking at other stuff, like, I don't know, I wanted an ST, and then I wanted an Amiga, and I couldn't afford either at the time, but I wasn't playing Spectrum games anymore. And I just thought, that's not what 8-bit gaming is meant to be about. Who am I to say what it's meant to be about? That's probably a ridiculous thing to think, but at the time that's what I thought. So I don't feel any nostalgia for these really slick arcade conversions. I do find it amusing playing them now, and interesting and impressive, because they have managed to do some really impressive stuff. And some of those I'll show in videos that are to come. I think that's all I've got to say. More Spectrum games coming, and I don't know if I'll throw anything else in there as well, just to mix it up a little bit, just for those people who really don't care about Spectrum games, and there are some. In the same way that I don't give a crap about NES games for the most part, there will be people who don't give a crap about Spectrum games. So I'll throw in other stuff as well, probably. But don't count on it. Okay, I'm now going to edit and see if I can make the audio on this useful, or if I've ruined it all by getting my neck touching the mic and stuff. Okay, shutting up now. Thank you for watching.